All right. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to New York City Metro InfraGard. And with us today, we have Caitlin Kinderberg. And Caitlin is going to be talking. Let me just see if I've got the. Yes, I do. Okay, there we go. All right. And let me get you in the background here. Okay, now I've got it set up right. Okay, there we go. All right, and Caitlin is going to be talking about Al Shabaab officially joins with Al Qaeda. I thought this was rather a dubious, kind of thing going on, that they would say that they're, joining Al Qaeda. It's almost like Kraft Foods joins, Kraft Macaroni or something like that. To say that we're putting out a press release that one terrorist organization is joining another. I mean, it's almost incredulous these days. But you've got the lowdown on this, Caitlin. So go ahead, take it away.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm Caitlin Kinberg, an intelligence analyst at MSA Security, and today I'll be speaking to you about Ayman al-Zawahiri, the leader of Al-Qaeda, and the recent videos that he has been featured in over the last several days. I'd like to first start off with the video that surfaced on jihadist forums last Thursday, in which Ayman al-Zawahiri formally announced that Somalia's militant group Al-Shabaab has officially joined the Al-Qaeda network. Al-Shabaab's leader, Mukhtar Abu al-Zubair, was also featured in the message, in which he pledged his allegiance to the terror network. I'm going to read an excerpt from the video, which is a quote from Zawahiri. So, with this merger, Zawahiri says, "The jihadist movement is, with the grace of Allah, growing and spreading within its Muslim nation despite facing the fiercest crusade campaign in history by the West." Now, Al-Shabaab has been publicly declaring links to Al-Qaeda since October of 2009, but there has been little evidence of any clear or direct collaboration. Until now, the strongest indication of cooperation between Al-Shabaab and Al-Qaeda have been the presence of several Al-Qaeda and East Africa operatives within Somalia, and this is including Fazul Abdullah Mohammed, who was killed by Somali forces last year. Additionally, intelligence collected last summer suggested a potential alliance was forming between Al-Shabaab and Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula. Myself, as well as our summer intern, Brittany Dolan, actually provided IGTV with a brief on that topic this past summer. We see that there could be several motivations behind the announcement of the now formal relationship between Al-Shabaab and Al-Qaeda. For one, the Al-Qaeda network has been challenged within the last year with the deaths of prominent figures, including Osama bin Laden, Anwar al-Awlaki, and Ilyas Kashmiri. Zawahiri's announcement may have been released to boost the morale of his followers and to show the Western world Al-Qaeda's relevance. The merger appears to be mutually beneficial, with Al-Shabaab gaining legitimacy by officially becoming an Al-Qaeda affiliate, and Al-Qaeda showing that they still have some sort of centralized power. Al-Shabaab has successfully recruited Westerners for either material or operational support in the past, but with the new merger, they could potentially aid. This could potentially aid their recruiting efforts, as they can now say that they're recruiting on behalf of Al-Qaeda. Additionally, this formal statement may signal permission from Zawahiri for Al-Shabaab to carry out external operations against the West. This has raised fear that Al-Shabaab may seek to attack within the United States to secure its place within the Al-Qaeda network. Counterterrorism officials are now increasingly concerned that a number of Somali Americans who have traveled to Somalia in recent years after being recruited by Al-Shabaab may return back to the United States to conduct terrorist acts. According to reports, Al-Shabaab's only plot within the West thus far was the attempted assassination of the Danish cartoonist Kurt Westergaard in January 2010. Just recently, they conducted an attack in Mogadishu. It was a suicide car bombing in Somalia's capital, which shows how Al-Shabaab, even though they were kicked out of the capital last year, are able to still carry out and plan for that scale of an attack within the capital. So we have yet to see them attack the West, but we do see them. They're still very able and capable of attacking within Somalia. Following the announcement of the merger, we saw another video was released featuring Ayman al-Zawahiri, except this time he was calling on Muslims to support the Syrian uprising. The video was titled "Onward, Lions of Syria," and it was posted on extremist websites on Saturday. The video announcement was the most explicit attempt made by al-Qaeda to intervene in Syria, during which Zawahiri calls on Muslims in Iraq, Jordan, Lebanon, and Turkey to join in the uprising against the cancerous Assad regime. Thus far, al-Qaeda has really not played a significant role within the Arab Spring and the unrest going on in the region. Zawahiri had previously released about 8 or so similar messages to the people of Egypt, but we didn't see those messages draw as much media attention as this latest message regarding Syria. However, al-Qaeda has been making attempts to become involved in some way. Late last year, senior militants linked to al-Qaeda reportedly traveled from Afghanistan to Libya in an effort to boost recruitment there in the aftermath of the fall of Muammar Gaddafi. In Syria specifically, there are some news reports al-Qaeda in Iraq was behind the 2 recent bombings in the Syrian capital, Damascus, but this has not been confirmed. We see this latest video as another attempt for Ayman al-Zawahiri to try to exert his power over the network to calm his followers and again to show al-Qaeda's relevance. As I previously stated, al-Qaeda has yet to play a significant role within the civil unrest in the Middle East. They may think that they have lost opportunity in Egypt, but they see Syria as a place where they can get themselves into the mix and be influential in some way. Add to this that the network has been beaten down to some degree by drone strikes within the last several months. It's our assessment that Zawahiri is definitely on some sort of role here, trying to show that the al-Qaeda threat still exists. And I wouldn't be surprised if we were to see another video or an audio release from him soon.
Yeah, it sounds, Caitlin, like this whole deal here is their PR department in full play. I look at Al Qaeda now and their different fractions and things like that, almost like a commercial enterprise. All right, and it sounds like they're trying to get their brand and jump out of the box here, where maybe they've been beaten into the ground pretty severely by U.S. and other forces out there, to the point where now they're just struggling and they want everybody to say, "Hey, we're still alive. We're still out here."
Right. Yeah. Well, Atiya Abdel-Rahman, he stepped up as the second in command when Zawahiri was named as the leader. And we know that when he died in August by a drone strike. We heard that al-Qaeda had been making plans to rebrand their message and to try to figure out how they can actually become influential with the whole Arab Spring thing. So that might be what we see playing out right now.
Yeah. All right, Caitlin. Thank you very much. As always, we thank you for coming on the program, and thank MSA as well for